GETTYADVERTISINGinRead invented by TeadsADVERTISINGinRead invented by TeadsGermany claims the world can no longer rely on the US, but nobody has turned to the European Union. Sigmar Gabriel accused EU nations of allowing the bloc to become irrelevant despite the crumbling of US dominance. Mr. Gabriel said, as the US has withdrawn from the international stage, nobody has turned to the European Union. He then accused the EU nations of treating the bloc as if they have a second one in their hip pocket. The foreign minister added the US no longer sees the world as a global community, but as a fighting arena where everyone has to seek their own advantage. Mr. Gabriel also claimed the global dominance of the United States is slowly becoming history, as he added, "We have to describe our own positions and, if necessary, draw red lines." Sigmar Gabriel said, as the US has withdrawn from the international stage, nobody has turned to the EU. He noted that the withdrawal of the United States under Donald Trump from its reliable role as a guarantor of Western-led multilateralism accelerates a change of the world order with immediate consequences for German and European interests. Mr. Gabriel continued, Germany can no longer simply react to US policy but must establish its own position. Even after Trump leaves the White House, relations with the US will never be the same. The foreign minister also said that he sees Germany and France as being the two driving forces in Europe, adding he would like to see the French become a bit more German in financial matters, and Germany to become more French in security matters. His comments mirror German Chancellor Angela Merkel's statement, which she made after the G7 summit, where the leader met with Trump. She said, "We Europeans must really take our destiny into our own hands, of course in friendship with the United States, in friendship with Great Britain, with good neighborly relations wherever possible, also with Russia and other countries, but we have to know that we have to fight for our future and our fate ourselves as Europeans." Mr. Gabriel comments come as Donald Trump has faced international condemnation after he announced the US will recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The US president reversed a decades-old US policy on Israel as he announced yesterday the American embassy will move from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, but Saudi Arabia claimed it represents a bias against the rights of the Palestinian people. The controversial move has sparked international condemnation from the Palestinians, the UK, Turkey and other nations. Theresa May condemned Trump's decision as unhelpful as she vowed the UK's embassy will remain in Tel Aviv. Mrs. May said, "We disagree with the US decision to move its embassy to Jerusalem and recognize Jerusalem as the Israeli capital before a final status agreement. We believe it is unhelpful in terms of prospects for peace in the region. The British Embassy to Israel is based in Tel Aviv and we have no plans to move it." Our position on the status of Jerusalem is clear and long-standing. It should be determined in a negotiated settlement between the Israelis and the Palestinians, and Jerusalem should ultimately be the shared capital of the Israeli and Palestinian states. In line with relevant Security Council resolutions, we regard East Jerusalem as part of the occupied Palestinian territories. Related articles. Sigmar Gabriel tells Merkel decide path without USA. Donald Trump is regarded by Germans as bigger threat than Russia. Germans mock Britain over Brexit deal. It's 3-0 to the EU.